What's going on, guys? It's the manashark here, and today we're going to recap one of the dumbest things I've done and many players do. I bought a collection. I'm usually sketched out about collections, right? Most of the time, these collections are either garbage and they ask way too much for it. It's been picked through, or the reality is that the person actually plays Magic or has whatever. For some reason, they know what cards are and aren't worth value, and you're just buying someone's garbage, and they know it, and you don't. So it was a little sketchy, and also the owner didn't necessarily want me to take too much time going through it. I could have actually given a lot more than what was offered. They just wanted to be done with it. So I basically was able to bargain for some time just to quickly glance through the collection. So we're going to take a look at the picture and kind of talk through what I was thinking while buying this collection, break it down, because I was doing a lot of intel beforehand, kind of getting a feel based off this one picture what could be inside if I only have a minute to look through everything, which is not enough time considering there are thousands of cards in here. You know, looking at this picture, we see an Anthologies box. You know, Anthologies being a box set. I actually didn't even know that. I had to do some research. And we have a full deck list of cards, and that included, I believe, Necropotence and Strip Mine. Then we just see piles of stuff, right? Normally you just dismiss it as like, all right, just got some shit. Looking at the set expansions, we get a feel for what this person's collecting. You see a lot of basic lands, but if you zoom in closely, you could see a Tempest on one of the cards. You see a lot of silver borders and white borders, so this person was probably playing, you know, lots of Unglued and 8th edition, and we see some revised lands, so we can assume maybe some revised stuff. So we're looking at a collection right now of like 90s to early 2000s. On the top we see a couple of Ravnica cards. Considering we haven't seen any cards printed since Ravnica off this picture, it's fairly safe to assume that this is either garbage or someone's just old collection. So we also have another picture going on here, which doesn't tell us a ton more than we already had. We do see a strategy, Schmatagy, I think it's called, which is I looked it up, it's a $9 card. And then we also see, if you look at the very bottom right, a Plunge into Darkness in what I assume is foil, and that apparently is worth money. Just more white bordered cards, so you can see distinctly like a Loxodon Warhammer, but not a ton of more information, right? From this, we establish kind of what sets we're looking at. So I get there a little late because I'm that kind of person, and I have 1 minute to dive through this whole collection. So I flip through everything, and I come across a binder, and I came across a single card, which made, you know, this $37 collection instantly worth it. I could still be down. The rest of it could be absolute garbage. But if there's this one card in here, I think we'll be fine, right? So with that being said, we're going to jump into the video. Now we're just going to go through some cards that I sorted through and found. You're going to notice that some of them are going to be in sleeves and naked and stuff. So, you know, the ones that were in sleeves were just in a big deck, a couple of decks together with the same exact sleeves. And then some of them were in hard plastics. Like this is actually a fairly expensive card. This is really goofy. The Ultimate Nightmare, Wizard Coast Customer Service. So some of these actually uncards are worth something. Jack in the Mox. This actually we saw in the photo. It's a probably near mint Plunge into Darkness foil, which is actually fairly expensive. It looks super cool. So I'll sort through the basic lands. I found only one unhinged land, which was kind of a letdown, but sorry, unglued. Only one unglued land, but it's fine. We also found a Snow-Covered Mountain. These are also worth a little bit for Scred. Steel Shaper's Gift. It might still be worth something. Swords to Plowshares. Just a random rare. I don't think that's worth anything. I thought the Sire Angel was cool. Some of these cards are just cool, not worth anything. This we had a good idea was in here from the Anthologies box, which is like $5 or $6. Evacuation. I'm pretty sure that the Modern Turns deck plays this. If not, I know the Jeff Hoogland Howling Mind thing, Intruder Alarm, you know. Sleight of hand. So this is some uncommons and commons that you want to look for. I think the sleight of hand and serum visions, where at the time they're worthless. There's no way for them to, like, back then to understand how much it's going to be worth, so they didn't have to, like, pick them out of collections or anything. When if people did eventually try to start selling some of their collection. So these are the kind of cards that you actually find a lot of value in. But we only found these two. But we did find, you know, these aren't really worth anything, but found a bunch of old school mana leaks. Reigns of Power. Some propagandas. This is pretty cool. 4 capsizes. These are actually kind of hard to come by sometimes, so that's nice. Kumbaj Witches, which is actually kind of worth something because of Pauper online, but in paper not really. Got a Hippie. This is a big pull. We got Grave Pact, which is, you know, pretty penny, so we're gonna put that in a sleeve for sure. Pauper card, a Necro. Necro is like just, you know, a great EDH card, so that's an easy mover. Lightning Bolt, also easy mover. And then just, like, you know, some stuff. An old school Stone Rain for your Ponza friends, and Boiling Seas, Hell's Champion, which is Seas played in Modern. I actually think this is around. I didn't assess that in the value. Urzatron land, so that's cool. Got Disc. I don't want to spoil it, so I made a cut right there. Got a Chaos Confetti, Grill Signet, another Chaos Confetti, another Chaos Confetti. And we got a Strip Mine. That's some solid money right there. And it's in great shape, just like most of these cards here, except for the ones that were clearly played a lot more or possibly warped. Very beautiful islands right here. And then we got some awesome tokens. I think these are from the unset, actually. We got some Goblins and Pegasus. It might be from the anthologies, though. So we got a chunk of those. Just, you know, same Goblins and Pegasus. Now we have the cards that are in our deck. Most of these are not worth anything. Just, you know, some old school mana leaks. Locks on Warhammer and Black Vice. Some OG Llanowar Elves, some Brainstorms that we saw in the picture, you know, Foil Island, Ice Flow. I don't know if it's actually worth anything, so I didn't mean to put that in there. So that's just some, like, stuff, nothing crazy, but it shows that, you know, maybe this person has some other stuff in the binder based on some of these really strong blue cards from back in the day. A Coat of Arms is, you know, a solid casual staple. So now we're on to the binder, which is going to surprise me too, because I probably missed stuff. I literally had like a minute to assess the value of the cards and understand if we want to pay for this lot. So we're actually going to go a little freehand, because honestly, my tripod rig is literally a little travel thing hooked onto a chair. So we're gonna just roll freehand. It's probably the best way to go about it, and just run through this binder that I'm, you know, didn't actually think was a binder. Fun fact. Old School Terror, Blue Terror, and there it is, Demonic Tutor. And it is in pristine shape. Most of these cards actually like just, you know, were opened and then put in the binder if they weren't played. And this person probably didn't play black or didn't think anything of it. So that's what made this collection definitely worth buying. I was thinking nothing of it until I saw Demonic Tutor, and then I was able to, you know, start to bargain a little. Use the art. Oh, snap. I almost said a bad word. Intuition right here. So that's probably in a really solid, you can already see Nick there, but that's probably in really solid shape. So that's some moolah right there. Got this was a really cool collection to look through. You know, it's really cool just kind of seeing, you know, the powerful cards from back then compared to today, and understanding, you know, how are people going to look at cards from our time in the future if this game continues to go on for that long. So I find it pretty amazing in that sense. Obviously, I'm really happy with the value between the Grave Pact and the Necropotence and the Strip Mine, which we had an idea were in there. The Intuition, which I had no idea was in there, which is like huge money. And the Demonic Tutor, which was the card that persuaded me into taking a chance on this collection. Not a huge chance, but made me definitely think it was worthwhile looking into it. So I hope you learned a little bit from my story, and rather than just like a bragging report of this awesome collection I bought, of just how much research you can do in terms of sets and understanding, you know, just simply off the bulk that people have sitting in these like fat collections that they're selling you, if they're legitimate collections and not filtered through, the kind of guesses you can take at what's inside and if it's worth it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop a like if you do. Subscribe. I'm going to be uploading more videos in the future. And keep playing Magic.